So starting with the NFL this week, week 7, there's a lot of games that happened. A lot of like shocking outcomes, some blowouts, some close victories. But first off, we want to get started with the Broncos and Giants because that was a devastating loss for the Giants in my opinion. But a great comeback. Obviously, you have to give credit to the Broncos for coming back. But if you had to choose one or the other, would you say it's a more devastating loss for the Giants or a greater comeback for the Broncos?
I think you got to give it to the Broncos for the greater comeback. To me, just because the Giants are what, they're like they're 2-5, 2-5 and everything, and so for me it was just I feel like the Broncos. It just didn't surprise me that the Giants.
It didn't surprise you?
It but in the sense of, it's the Giants in that way. That's what I mean by that. But, yeah, for me, the Broncos coming back in the fourth quarter like that was ridiculous to me. Just, they decided to just wait until the fourth quarter to just play some football and everything. And so, to me, that was crazy.
So I give them credit, of course, for the mental fortitude, the resilience that comes with coming back from a game where you're down 19-0 to start a fourth quarter. 19-0, okay? And you proceed to allow the other team to score 33 points in a single quarter.
So you don't want to give them that?
They're down. The Broncos were down 26-8 with less than 6 minutes left in the game.
Is that all the more reason?
26-8?
And the defense was just non-existent. So you're saying it's the Giants' defense?
Yes, I am blaming the Giants' defense because they have devoted all their... If you look at their roster, they have a lot of first-round picks, some free agents what they signed on the defensive end. Jackson Dart, he had a terrible interception, so yes, he deserves blame for that. But I think Brian Daboll, their head coach, he deserves some blame because going into such a conservative play style and play calling and then trying to be aggressive when you didn't need to be, which forced your young quarterback into a pass when, of course, he made the decision to throw the pick, but he shouldn't have even been in the position to throw the pick because all you needed to do is just run the ball. Yeah. But the Broncos, I still don't believe in them as a real AFC contender because I think you can only continue to get deep into games. They did this against Philly. They were down 14 in the fourth quarter against Philly. They came back down double digits again.
That speaks to their resilience.
Yeah, but you think that's a recipe for success against real good team? Obviously Philly is a good team, but the Giants are building something. I think obviously they have a different type of intrigue to them now, but they're still building a lot because they're a young team and But, I just don't know how you can say this isn't the biggest collapse. One of the biggest collapses in NFL history.
Okay. I think
someone 33 points in one quarter. In the fourth quarter of a game, but where you're up 19-0, you're shutting a team out.
But they still score. I don't think it's the biggest. I don't think.
What do you mean? What?
I think that's an exaggeration. I think it was just a shock to see that. I think we were shocked to see that, but it wasn't that crazy.
Do you realize how hard it is to score 25 points in less than 6 minutes?
No, I agree.
What has to happen? What you have to allow to happen for that to happen?
No, I understand.
And don't get me started with their kicker as well, who missed 2 extra points.
Yeah, the kicker.
Yeah. Their GM drafting or signing a guy who clearly can't make extra points. So that's another thing the Giants did.
Man,
this is ridiculous because it's just such a terrible loss. Some guy, I'm calling it right now. Daboll, maybe if they go on a long run, but their schedule is going to be brutal, so I don't see them winning too many games the rest of the year. But this game, this is what they're going to point to at the end of the year when he gets fired.
Oh, probably. I think you got. As much as the coaching collapsed for sure, and then everything, but you still. Again, I feel like you still got to give Broncos credit, for, against all odds, they still managed to do that. So, for me, I still think it'll be interesting to see what they're like in the later season as well too, and just see what potential they do have and all. So, yeah.
All right, we'll move on to your Philadelphia Eagles now.
Yes,
They
won.
performed very well. Jalen Hurts, I'll get started. I'm not what I would call a Jalen Hurts critic, but I do have some questions at times. But each time I have questions, he continues to answer them. And this game, which he had a perfect passer rating. Literally meaning he played perfect. He did have a few incompletions, but like he played perfect in terms of passer rating. I've never I know given the stakes of the game, he's played better in some Super Bowls, but this might have been the best game he's ever played, in my opinion. And he involved his two receivers, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith had a career day. But I do think the biggest question still is, are they ever going to get the Saquon that they had from last year? If they don't, then this is going to... Jalen Hurts' play, he doesn't have to be perfect like he was on Sunday, but they're going to continue to need him to have performances like this.
Yeah, it's hard to, like, as far as with Saquon Barkley, I mean, it's hard for a running back to repeat the season that he had and everything and all. And, again, Saquon was really exciting to see last year as well, too.
Yeah.
And, I think with Jalen Hurts, too, as well, like, he is someone who will do what he has to do. Like, he's not going to do too much. He's not going to do too little. He'll do what he has to do to win games and everything, too. And so... for me, like, looking at Jalen Hurts, and then, again, of course, you hear, like, A.J. Brown complaints and everything, and then...
He still complained after this game.
Yeah,
he had stuff to say.
Yeah, he did, but, again, at the end of the day, we're still winning, too. Like, it's like, it'd be one thing if we weren't winning and all that, but we're still winning. We're still doing what we gotta do. Like, yeah, we had some losses that are in the past, of course, but, it's just still... it was good to see, Jalen Hurts in his groove and his zone and everything, and I'm hopeful that like Saquon will again not be, because again we do need that running game too. We do need that run game to get over the hump with everything, and so I'm hopeful that he'll like again not where he was, but like at least close enough eventually, or like at least a little bit better and everything in that sense, and so I'm excited for us in that regards.
Yeah, the expectation, I don't think any reasonable person would have expected him to have the season he had when he was possibly in the running for like one of the 3 best running back seasons of all time. Nobody's expecting.
He should have won MVP too. I'm so mad he didn't.
That's a different argument for another day, but
I
just don't believe that he could have repeated the performance that he had last year. But this game was a big game for the Eagles. I think they were teetering. Like, there was reports that a guy, an anonymous player, was thinking that this was similar to the season that they had 2 years ago when they went into a supernatural funk where they just couldn't get back and had, like, just basically melted down the stretch of their season in 2023. But... Jalen Hurts, he's proven that he's the ultimate competitor. He's a gamer. He shows up when it matters most, and that he led them through this game, and that's why they're going to be in good shape moving forward, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But lastly, moving forward, reports of their demise were greatly over-exaggerated. The Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not going to say they're back because I didn't think they were gone, but some people thought they were gone.
Who thought they were gone?
Many people. And you know why they're back? Because all these conspiracy theories are coming out about the refs. It's rigged, and they just completely they absolutely destroyed. I know the Raiders are not a good team.
Yeah, I'm about to say you act like they.
The Raiders had 93 yards of offense in an entire football game. 93? Okay. 31-0 shutout. The first shutout, actually, in Andy Reid's career, which is actually pretty surprising, in my opinion. But Patrick Mahomes, obviously this was the first game Rashee Rice was back. I'm not saying that, these weapons are, the best weapons he's had. I think Tyreek Hill and... obviously, Travis Kelce in his prime were better.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously Rashee Rice is a clear number one receiver, and then having Xavier Worthy and as a deep threat, even Juju as just like a possession receiver who's tough, and then Travis Kelce's not being shadowed all the time, so he's able to get a little bit more separation. But Patrick just looks like he's in command of their offense, and they look pretty scary in my opinion. I had them as my pick. I don't know if anyone who in the AFC because people want to say oh the Chiefs they're overrating the Chiefs. Okay, then who is actually better than them in the AFC? I want to know who's actually better than them.
Who is better? That's a good question.
Which you can't answer because nobody are we gonna rely on Daniel Jones and the Colts? Is that who we're picking? Because they look like I've been seeing all the numbers that apparently they have the best offense in the past 30 years. They have a better offense than Brady's Patriots, Mahomes when he had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce.
What about the Steelers?
The Steelers who just lost to Joe Flacco? 40-year-old Joe Flacco?
So we act like Joe Flacco,
And what?
He's
not Joe Burrow.
He's
40.
He was a Super Bowl
MVP. 13 years ago?
He's still a threat.
He is a threat, but...
Anyway, but yeah, and they got weapons too. Don't act like the Cincinnati.
Yeah, they have probably Chase's. They couldn't.
Chase
had
Higgins,
nothing to do with Chase.
Brown.